Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of New Book Who Dis. I am your host, Death Metal Hero, and with me today I've got Edwin the Ace Acevedo. What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. I'm hanging in there. Cut together a new intro for the show today, and you get the privilege of being the first guest to have the new intro. Thanks, man. Yeah, I've been meaning to have something besides just a generic, a generic logo or my generic intro, and finally got around to it today. So I'm very happy with that. Skull Flying Feline, thank you for coming in and joining us today. Yeah, unfortunately we are running against Red Valkyrie and the Dirty Free for All. A bunch of sign up campaigns running right now. What's up, Dark Gift? Good to see you, Anthony. Thanks for coming in, man. Good to see you, buddy. So what you been up to, man? Besides, working hard on the book.
Oh man, just working my regular day job. Just that takes most of my day. So
yeah,
grinding away.
What do you do for a regular day job, if you don't mind me asking?
I work with people.
Oh, that makes life difficult.
Yes,
I often have to work with people.
Yeah,
Thankfully, they're usually my regulars at the comic shop, so they're not too bad. And my computer clients aren't, terrible. Yeah. Actually, my grandmother is probably the most difficult computer client I have. To be honest with you, she's 93, and if it doesn't work the way she expects it to, she gets a little grouchy. But yeah, I do all kinds of different stuff like tech support and landscaping and stuff like that. Oops. Wow, I am bumping all kinds of buttons here with my keyboard. So, what are you reading right now, man? Anything good?
No, I've pretty much given up on the big two, any kind of mainstream kind of comics.
Reading. I'm talking about like anything that you're reading that you're digging, anything that's worth reading. Like I work at a comic shop, and I get a lot of independent stuff, dude. Most of my pull is no longer big two. Like it used to be a bunch of Marvel, and now it is mostly independent stuff. It's it's a lot of Image, it's a lot of Dark Horse, some Boom, Aftershock,
Yeah, I pretty much I consider all of that the mainstream these days. So yeah, okay. I really kind of disconnected. If it's not like crowdfunded stuff,
right?
I really, the last book I've read that was crowdfunded was Mothman.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
that was Joe Ball, right?
Shane.
Yep. Yeah. Didn't Joe do like a cover or something?
I think he did a pinup.
Oh, okay.
But it is part of.
I remember he was promoting that book.
Yeah, it's part of like the King Toad brand.
Oh, okay. That's
Joe, Shane, and Sweens are part of. So.
Very cool. Very cool. I need to get Shane on here at some point. Haven't actually gotten a chance to talk to him yet. How did you like the Mothman book? I
liked it a lot. I'm not really, I have a lot of fun with like the cryptids and stuff. Like I like to make fun of that stuff. Like I like to I like to go in it, but in reality, I've never really gotten into it. But it was fun. Like it was. It was really interesting story. I like the the cliffhanger. The art was good. I was proud of Shane, man. Like first crowdfunded book. He's done some other books, but this is like the first like comic book I think he's done. So it's tough, and he was able to put this together, and I think he just finished fulfilling all of it, sending out the last couple of packages over like the last week or two. So that's good to see, man. It's inspiration.
It is amazing to see. Because when this scene kind of started at the beginning, there was there were some growing pains. It was a little rough, getting fulfillment down, trying to get a rhythm. But now, as we're rolling into like year 3 of this scene now, like people are starting to get like an idea, because as artists, really used to being business people as well. And a lot of people had to step back and be like, oh, right, I gotta do this whole business aspect of it as well.
Oh yeah.
Shit. And so they're it's slowly but surely they're learning. They're learning.
Yeah, it is a big learning curve. I'm going through that right now,
Yeah.
It's not just like the stuff that you think about. There's little side stuff that ends up actually taking most of your time. And that's the stuff that's longest to kind of wait for, especially when you're on the writer side. You're kind of dependent on an artist to like send you certain files and do certain changes, and
right.
That all takes time. You got to give yourself a buffer because you're gonna need it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And unforeseen circumstances, shit goes wrong. I mean, it's always, there's always something. What is it? Murphy's Law? If it can go wrong, it will go wrong at some point. All right, sorry. Mike stand is in the way here. So what did you read as a kid? Like, did you grow up reading comics?
Well, yeah, I was big into Marvel when I was growing up. X-Men, Spider-Man. That was my jam.
What's your favorite era of X-Men?
Oh, it was basically started from 91, so it'd be like the end of like the basically Bishop's Crossing, his introduction. Through probably Extinction Agenda.
Oh, dude, Extinction Agenda was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, speaking of Bishop, I picked these up at the shop the other day, and bam.
There we go.
Yeah, man. And that's our boy Art T Bear.
Yes, sir. See? The great Will Sportation.
Yep. Wilson Art, man, they did some great stuff on this book. But I saw it at the shop the other day, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't have that one.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, I picked up a few classic X-Men. Got Silvestri Brood.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Fall of the Mutants. And then Extinction Agenda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man. But I don't know. I think really dug the whole Arthur Adams. Like just before Silvestri took over for the X-Men, Art Adams was doing like the annuals and stuff like that, and his artwork just kind of blew me away. Just the smooth lines, like the almost animated quality of the figures, and just his storytelling ability. And then I think it was Uncanny X-Men Annual number 12. It had a backup story in the Mojo verse with with the X-Babies. And I had never seen the X-Babies before. And I was just like, what is this? Holy what? And I saw them after that, and nobody could ever draw the X-Babies like Arthur Adams did. You know what I mean? Like, Art Adams was the only person that could draw the X-Babies as far as I was concerned. And that made me start paying more attention to, artists. Like, I don't know. It's, that was one of the first times I remember paying attention, like looking in the front of the book and seeing who drew this. And then I would start looking at my other books, like who drew this. And I started noticing different styles and stuff like that, It's now, are you doing the artwork for your book, or are you are you writing?
Yeah, I'm the writer and creator. Canales is doing the main art on the kind of like the main story for the book. So yeah, it's been great working with him. He's been
he's awesome.
I think he's done killer work on this. Like I'm excited for people to see it because you get to see his work colored, which is rare. Most of his work is always
right.
Black and
he's
white.
Usually working in black and white. Yeah.
So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. So yeah, as an artist, I started noticing different line weights. That's where I was going with that. Yeah, Dark Gift says, I love Art Adams. Yo, Ollie, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thanks for
Oliver,
coming
what
to
up?
hang out, man. What's going on, Oliver? Yeah, I believe that was annual 10. It might have been. You know, I picked up a bunch of them at that time. It was the one with the big mech on the front with like the dome head. It had the High Evolutionary in it. You know, Rogue with her big, you know, giant mane of hair and that green bodysuit. Longshot, Dazzler, Storm, Colossus, Wolverine in his brown outfit. I think they were just coming back from living in the Outback. The world thinking the X-Men were dead. Oh Lord, I haven't read all that in a long time. But what about Spider-Man? Like, what classic run for you there?
You know, it's McFarlane, some of the early Larson, you know,
Sure.
Sinister Six, all that kind of good stuff. I followed
Right.
Spider-Man until basically the Clone Saga. And then once that ended, I was like, that is a wrap for me, sir. I'll catch you on the next one.
I am all kinds of good. Thank you very
Yes.
much. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I hear you on that. I remember reading through that and being like, what? What? Hold on. And then, you know, the costume for Ben Reilly Spider-Man, I thought it was a cool redesign. But trying to say, oh, you know, the Peter Parker that you knew for the last 30 years, yeah, he was a clone. So the real Peter Parker is this dude that everybody thought was Ben Reilly. And yeah, that did not go over well. Yeah, and then they tried to switch Spider-Man to Ben Reilly. Oof, yeah, that was. Did you ever read any of the J. Michael Straczynski, John Romita Jr. Amazing Spider-Man stuff after that?
No, it was never the same for me. I read some of like the I think when Romita Jr. came back, but like it's a handful of issues, and like I said, I was still hurting even all those years later. I just couldn't do it. I was like, I love Spider-Man, but I can't get involved in this again.
Definitely check out the J. Michael Straczynski run, specifically the Spider Totem stuff. Really cool, and he's the one that introduced Morlun. I don't know if you watched Into the Spider-Verse.
No, I haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah, the Into the Spider-Verse was spun out of the story Spider-Verse in the comics, which comes from the J. Michael Straczynski run. Anyway, hardcore X-Men fan. Cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up reading that shit, you know?
There's nothing like it, man. Those comics are really so inventive, so creative, so well written. And just like, you know, these people felt like family in a way.
Yeah.
Not just with each other, but to you. Like, you know, like I'm picking up the X-Men books, I'm picking up X Factor, I'm picking up X-Force. And this whole world is just like, it hooked me, man. It really, only one that couldn't really get into was Excalibur. It's a little too, I don't really, you know, I like Nightcrawler and Kitty Pryde, but the rest of the team didn't really do anything for me.
I don't know. I thought Captain Britain was pretty cool. You know, Brian Braddock.
Yeah, you know, maybe, like I said, I didn't read that much, or maybe I could have gotten into it later, but that was always one that really, I gave it a shot, but it really hooked me. But I was done with the other ones, man. Like they just felt, the characters felt unique and they felt important. Everybody had their own little corner of the X-Men universe, and then when they all came together, it just felt big.
Yeah,
you know, like the X-Men were just rolling, man. Like they were just, people had no idea. They look at the X-Men now, the last 20 years. You're like, no, this was the biggest comic book in the world. Like there was nothing bigger than X-Men. Batman wasn't bigger, Superman wasn't bigger, Spider-Man wasn't bigger. It was X-Men and then everybody else.
After that, it fell apart. First 50 issues of Excalibur. The reason why it was so, you know, it felt like family is because that's the way Claremont set it up. Like he took a hold of the X-Men and he injected a lot of, you know, humanity into these characters. He made them real. He fleshed them out. And, you know, lots of people felt like they were, you know, hanging out with friends because these characters were so wonderfully written. And that transferred out to the other lines because he was overseeing the lines, you know, and with Louise Simonson and Ann Nocenti. I mean, they had a great, you know, editorial staff as well. You know, back when editors fucking did something. Sorry. When it wasn't just a title you slapped on your CV because you know, managed to get a job somehow. You know, when you actually went through and edited things. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Claremont's X-Men.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. But that's the reason why that whole, you know, microcosm felt so good, is because Claremont was overseeing it, but it kept getting got too big, and he couldn't, you know, he couldn't keep tabs on it. And so, you know, it kind of fell apart after a while, you know.
Yeah, you know, I think like with anything, I just think like the right people have to be ahead of it, and you could tell by the late '90s. It wasn't just the X-Men books, but a lot of the stuff at Marvel, they weren't putting in the quality control that they should have. Yeah, like they were selling so many copies, they were doing all of this that they were just letting stuff slide that shouldn't have ever been done.
Yeah.
And there should have been somebody there, like there was back in the early days, like, you know, hear the stories of like Shooter. You know, like, no, don't even like, what the fuck are you talking about with this idea? Get this out of here. You know, stuff like that would never pass.
Yeah, actual editors, you know, people that could tell a good story. You know, I think that it feels like now some people are afraid to say no to certain stories, and it shows, because then that story doesn't even get edited afterwards, and it's just like, this is just rough. Like, whoa, come on, you know. But let's see. Apex says, I like some early Barry Smith X-Men issues. Yeah, Barry Windsor Smith will always be the Weapon X artist for me, man. It'll always be, you know, Marvel Comics presents Weapon X. You know. But that's you know, that definitely is an influence in like my storytelling, because of the impact it had on me as a kid. Like, what would you say some of your influences are, you know, for your story, as I bring up the campaign here?
Direct influence on this, you know, my little tagline likes to say, you know, books like Darkhawk, you know, Death's Head 2, Sleepwalker. Kind of like those kind of, I call them like the funky kind of like, you know, B and C list books that not too many people read, but those who did read them loved them. Like I said, I think the first 25 issues of Darkhawk were incredible. Kind of falls off after that, but you know,
I
really quality comic.
I've never read that book. I have some, but I've never read them, so I'll have to check it out. I always enjoyed the character design.
Yeah,
he was always really cool.
It was interesting, you know. So
it's different. It's oddball or off the wall, you know.
Yeah. You know, had a lot of Spider-Man influence, but the idea that always captured me was the idea that Chris Powell, who's the guy underneath the armor, he was this high school kid who was going through all these personal problems with his family, and his dad ended up disappearing, and you know, he's basically gets this power of this like android armor and stuff, and he kind of has to figure out, you know, what kind of hero he wants to be. Like right off the bat, he meets Spider-Man, and Spider-Man like scolds him because he thinks he's just like another hothead Punisher wannabe guy. So you see Spider-Man have to like give him some tough love, and then really kind of challenge him to see what kind of hero he wants to be.
Right.
And, you know, he along the way he meets Captain America, he meets the Punisher, he meets all these heroes, he faces all these threats, and you see like the evolution of the man he wants to be, the hero he wants to be, and it's really interesting stuff. Like I thought the character always had like tons of untapped potential. So,
well, yeah, they actually let him sit dormant for a while, and brought him back recently, I think, and made him a little more cosmic. Like juiced him up a little bit, gave him a little more cosmic power or something. I wasn't quite sure exactly what happened, but yeah, you know, it back when characters went through character arcs, you know, growth, character growth, trials, tribulations, the hero's journey, and all that.
Yeah, new hero meeting these already established heroes and villains, and then creating his own world, his own threats, and all that kind of stuff. Like I said, really, I always found that interesting, because like I said, I'm talking about like early '90s X-Men and Spider-Man. I mean, there's already like a long history of stuff. So when I jumped in, I'm kind of jumping in on the deep end on those books.
Oh yeah, man.
So like Darkhawk was that book that I could jump in at number 1 and follow it.
Yeah.
So he felt like he was my counterpart.
It was your gateway in. You didn't have to go back through this huge history. No, I dig it, man. I dig it. And that's one of the things I tell people when they come into the shop is, if they're looking for a place to start, it's like, look for something interesting and just jump right in, because there's this huge history, and, you can always go back later, but just jump in, start finding, a story that looks interesting, read it, and then go forward, backwards from there. Try to start at the beginning in something that huge is, it's kind of maddening. You can get the omnibuses and trades and stuff like that, but that's why it's fun to get in on the ground level of something like this. So this is volume 1 of how many volumes do you think you have planned?
Oh, it's many as people will help me crowdfund. This thing is
got stories for
open-ended. Yes, it's like every time I start kind of thinking of ideas for the character, for the universe, for the world, I can just kind of keep going. I gotta slow down myself and be like, all right, just keep that on the periphery, just worry about the next one. But yeah, it's definitely something awesome. I want to keep going, and I'm having a lot of fun doing this.
That's awesome. So how long has the Ace existed in your head?
Wow. So by the time I launched the Indiegogo in January, it was about 2 years. So I had another like 4 months on top of that. I'm talking about like 28 months, about almost 2.5 years. Yeah.
See, yeah, that's awesome. Well, let's take a look at your trailer here, and because trailers are awesome. Wow, man. So who put together your trailer for you?
Oh, that was by Red Gaze.
Damn.
Yeah, he did.
Red does some good shit with trailers.
People have no idea. Like when I saw this, and the first one was great too, but it was like the second one. The only thing Red has on about the Ace is some pages I sent him to the trailer, and he was able to capture the tone so well that when I saw it, I was like, it's like he read it.
Nicely done.
I just thinking like this is exactly the vibe I'm going for. So it's just
that's awesome.
That dude's incredibly talented. Go check out his new book right now.
That's right. I've actually talking to him next week about that book. So make sure you guys are liked and subscribed for that one. You know, hit the bell for notifications so you'll be notified. All right. So what am I looking at here? This is David Diaz.
That's right. That's David at home trying to. You see the symbol.
Yeah,
right there on his chest, little teaser.
Kind of looking a little surprised, like, wait a minute, I thought I dreamed that or something.
Definitely surprised. This is some panels from the epilogue story that's drawn and colored by Sweens.
Ooh, nice.
That one's a little bit of a mystery piece. You know, I'm gonna keep. There's gonna be like an epilogue after like the main story in every book. And it's kind of like gonna piece together and gonna tell like a long form story on that.
Very cool. And this is Passion, right?
No, this is How Comics.
He
did the Masquerade and Lost Pages.
Okay, that's where I've seen this style before. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes, that's a couple of panels from the Angelique origin story. That's in the book.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I've been very, very fortunate to work with these talented guys. They've all done killer work. I'm excited for people to see what they came up with.
And then you got this fucking bitchin' cover by Donald.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right, so this is our boy the Ace right here, and who is this giant monstrosity trying to eat him?
Yeah, that's Akula.
Akula.
He's a bounty hunter from the other side of the universe who tracks down the Ace. And he wants to take
I'll handle ya.
Yes, he wants to take the armor for himself. And people always ask, like, "Oh, can he wear the armor?" Yes, he can. He can wear the armor if he is able to possess it. He'll be a badass version of Akula with the armor.
Shit! No, thank you. Shark fin soup for you, Bubba. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so it's kind of a little bit like Exo Manowar in that regard. That's cool. So let's see, where am I going? The featured perk here, the Ace comic print and metal print. Ooh,
yes.
All right.
I actually have a big image of that metal print in the last update I did.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Updates. Oh,
yeah, that's art by Omar Casanova. Very talented artist. And the moment I saw the colors, I was like, this would make a sick metal print. And then, you know, I talked to Phoenix Animation.
Oh, yeah,
because he's big into the metal stuff. So he sent me a couple samples, and one was really shiny and nice. And I thought, yeah, this will work. This feels metal. This feels like. And then when I saw the shine on, I was like, here we go. Now we're cooking.
Very cool.
So yeah, we're offering this.
Is gorgeous.
We're offering this only until the end of May.
Ooh.
I like to do a lot of exclusive stuff just to kind of support the people who jump on and back.
Right.
So this is only going to run until the end of May. Once May comes, this thing goes away. And also, one thing we're going to be getting rid of in a couple of days is the PDF tier. We're offering that until the end of this month. So if you're a fan of the digital or you can't afford the shipping to your area, it's a great deal. It'll actually get you all the stretch goals on it. So you got a couple of days to snag that if you're a fan of digital.
Excellent. $40 gets you all of that. Damn, y'all. This is a damn good featured perk. And like you said, this is a featured perk that's going to disappear after the end of the month. What's up, 24 Eyes? Welcome.
Yeah.
And Doc Gift says he just had Red and Katie on yesterday.
Oh yeah, they're actually going to be on the Pimp stream tomorrow. So.
Nice. Making the rounds. See, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do.
Got to grind.
Yeah. Gotta grind. That metal print is gonna be badass, man.
Yeah.
All right, let me flip back to the story. Interesting. Okay. Ace comic book. So, like, if you guys just want to get just the base comic book, 32 pages, $15. Nice. Plus a print, $20. And do we have a bigger picture? That's the McMahon print, right?
Yep. There's a slightly bigger one near the bottom.
Near the bottom. Ooh, little too far. Little too far.
Yeah.
Oh, I see 6 a.m. art.
Yeah, right there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a great print Mike did, colored by Simon Simpotier. The Ace, just taking down all these like 90s, all these like android robots and stuff.
Yeah.
Very kind of 90s inspired. I'm a big fan of Mike and his style, so definitely a little tribute to that. Colors are great on it. So
excellent. So that's a great piece.
Yeah.
And then look at this, the Hardline Jam piece. Got Joe Ball, Sweens, Sim, Passion, Brandon, Michael. Wow.
Beacon.
Holy shit.
He did the colors on that. Yeah, sadly, that is no longer available. It ended once the campaign went in demand. But yeah, all those people who did back it will be getting that.
See, if you were on top of it, but you can look at it here and you can enjoy the jamminess of it.
And all. I think Phil and Brandon are actually offering a print of that. In Magic Cop 2, if I remember correctly. They have so many tiers, I forget. But I
might have to harass them because I already backed Magic Cop 2 and I want that print because that's pretty badass.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we just went down there to see the Mike McMahon print.
Actually, 24 Hours is asking for the link. I don't know if you got any mods or anything.
Oh, I don't know if any of my mods are here. Shit, did I forget to put the link in the damn chat like a putz? Oh, boy. Well, ask and ye shall receive. Mm-hmm. Ta. And I will pin that. Pin that. There we go. All right. So the link to the campaign is pinned in the chat. Back to the awesomeness. These pages are great, and it is cool to see his art in color. Like it's normally gray tones.
Yeah.
Who's doing the color for him?
The colors are by Theo Gonzalez. He did the colors for Brutus.
Oh, excellent. I loved Brutus. Sexy right there.
I love the spinner rack, man. I need one of those. I have so many books that have come in. I need a place to showcase them.
Dude, it's actually helps me keep track of them. Like, okay, so I've read this. So it helps me keep track of what I've read, what I've not read. I found them on Amazon. They're slightly wider. They're like magazine size. But and there's also spinnerack.com, I think is another place to look. But yeah, man, I love it. They're great. Okay, so you can get just the Akula metal print.
Yep, if you've already backed the book, but you just hey, I just need the print. No, there you go.
All right. The comic and the metal print. Is it 2 copies? Oh wow. 2 copies and 2 prints for $40. Now that's a good deal if you and a buddy wanted to get a book, or if you wanted to get one and share it with a buddy. Original art.
That's right. This is one of the few campaigns that actually have Canales original art. They came in right from Spain. They're sitting on a desk in my apartment, so they made them here
safe and sound.
Yeah, so I bought like 11 or 12 of them. I put up 10 for the campaign. One's only one's been chosen. The cool thing about this is, you get to kind of pick next. So, if you was a second backer, you get second
right.
pick. So
There
I
we
got some cool
go.
stuff on there, man. Canales really does some really good job on this. So, and like I said, you can't really get his original art on a lot of campaigns. So this is a good friend of Canales.
He usually works digitally. Yeah. That's very cool. Very cool. This looks like it's going to be a really fun book, man. So, ooh. All right. So this is obviously off-world.
Yeah, that's the epilogue story by Sweens.
Yeah.
He drew and colored it. People who've seen like maybe some of his stuff for Oddity.
Yeah.
This is completely different. This is more in the sci-fi, outer space, different planet. This is really sick stuff. Like Sweens did a tremendous job on it. So
Excellent. I'm always the blue meanie rebel. Always. What's up, Eric? Thanks for coming to hang out. Yeah, we don't have any link droppers tonight. They are elsewhere this evening. 24 Eyes says I will probably hit the triple play.
Hell, brother. Thank you.
Where is the
Actually, you can keep going down and show all the Alan Alonso pages there on comics. For the Angelique, he also draws in colors, just beautiful colors. This is a bit of like a little, I call it like a dark fantasy, like dark fairy tale. So just to give you a little origin story, just kind of little introduction to Angelique, who's going to be the main antagonist in Volume 2.
So, okay.
Yeah, this gives you a little intro to her.
She gonna be all kinds of trouble.
Oh yes, sir.
I can
Hail
see
Mike
it already. Okay. Ooh.
And if you go down, those are the stretch goals. They've all been unlocked for all backers. So you see that Angelique trading card up there by Doodle Bags and colored by Passion for Drawing.
That's
You'll be getting that. You'll get the 4 6 a.m. stickers. Akula. There's 2 versions of the Ace, and then there's the Angelique one. So you'll be getting those for your collection if you're a fan of 6 a.m. 6
is so good. I love it.
I was blown away when he did those for me.
So badass.
I was like, "Thank you, Sigurd. You're the man." Definitely. Whenever he finally puts out his stuff, I'll make sure.
Yeah.
To promote
I wish that he could put out his game on Android. Yeah. I'd absolutely buy his game on Android if I could. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, he's going to keep it on iOS for X amount of time. Fuck you, Apple. In fact, here I have something. Yes. I have something for that. This is for Apple. This is for Apple.
Hello, Gargoyle.
Well, hell, Gargoyle. What's up? Frog G is elsewhere.
Yeah, and actually, I have the next thing is going to be the Jim O'Reilly.
What's going on, Mike? What?
The next thing below that's the Jim O'Reilly print, but I actually have a bigger image and the updates too. If you want to scroll up, it's not going to be the last one. It's going to be the one before that. You see that Angelica sexy print?
Yeah,
that one right there.
Oh my!
See a bigger shot of the trading card right there.
See, I need to start looking in the updates for pictures. Yeah. There they are all together. Wow,
that's great.
Wow.
And then you see that Jim O'Reilly Kaiju print, which is really sick.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who did the colors on that one?
Theo Gonzalez also did the colors for that.
That's great.
Yeah, he's tremendous. He colored the cover,
killing it.
Canales pages, and that print. So he did a great job at all that.
Wow, man. Yeah, you got some great talent on this book, man. This is exciting. So when are you hoping to ship?
Estimated shipping's in July.
Oh, so coming right up.
Yeah. So everything.
Right. So when are you planning to end the campaign, as it were?
Probably in the fall. I'm actually me and Canales are gonna start working on volume 2 end of May. He's finishing up some stuff, so I just caught up with him. He told me he was good to go end of May, so I'm gonna be slowly putting my eyes on that, and it's gonna take a while to finish it. So I figure by fall, most of it should be done, and then I can kind of close it out and then start promoting the mailing list and for volume 2, and then seeing, you know. So you have a little bit of time.
You're gonna overprint and just leave it in demand until
by the fall, yeah. So
yeah,
a couple months, probably like maybe October, November. It won't be kept until the end of the year. I'll definitely give people heads up when I'm closing it.
24 Eyes says, "Hell yeah, hell yes, fast delivery." That's right. That's right. This would be an awesome print. This, yeah, it would also be a badass shirt too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm a sucker for t-shirts. So also no patch. Like
no, I looked into the patches, but it's just it wasn't really feasible right now. Maybe if we can get a little higher, I can rethink the situation. But
fair enough. Fair enough.
Right now, we're just trying to not extend too much because there's quite a bit added to this campaign already. So
yeah,
we'd have to get a little higher for anything extra to be on there.
Right. That's cool. So you've already gone. You said you had already gone through all of your stretch goals.
Yep, everything's been unlocked. So
wow.
Yeah.
Have you thought of any new stretch goals?
Oh, I do have some. I have some more goodies in the stash, but we'd have to get it up a couple G's more before anything.
Oh, a couple G's more, not just
it would have to be
just
at least
6. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it'd have to be at least maybe 8. We can talk about.
All right.
Because I am putting all this out of pocket myself, so it's
all right.
You gotta. But yeah, man. Hopefully, when we if we can start, get everything shipped out and correct, and people dig it, then there could be a bump, and you never know. Like I said, as long as the campaign's open, I'm open to ideas, and I do have some cool art and stuff already that's stashed, that's already paid for and done. So,
and you've also been doing the whole rotating featured tiers, like because you said that your current featured tier is going to be gone at the end of this month, right?
Yep. And next month.
Next month. Okay, yeah, the end of May. So you won't be able to get the metal print anymore?
Nope. The only extras I'll print and I'll order will be for like counts and stuff. So when I say like you won't be able to get this, I really do mean it. It's not like it's like like I'm printing some extra posters and stuff that's just for like replacements, and then like I'm gonna give out some counts to all my artists that worked on the book. But aside from that, it kind of it will be what it is, So
right. I want a T-shirt, man. I want a T-shirt with that badass Donald DeLay artwork on it. Yeah. Like that's hot.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah. That's just this image. Just let me. Ha! It worked. That doesn't always work. Like that whole thing on a T-shirt, right there.
Hey man, like I said, we did the poster.
Yeah,
because people wanted it, so if there's demand for the shirt, we'll look into it.
Hear me, internets! I need a shirt. This I command.
That's right.
That's my best Serpentor.
Hashtag Ace shirt.
Hashtag Ace shirt. That's right. All right, so guys, anybody got any questions out in the chat out there? Any questions for our boy? You gonna get Donald to come back and do any more covers for you? Because this is just badass.
I got some other ideas for Donald.
Yeah.
It might not be Ace related. Might be another character.
Yeah. So what else you got kicking around? Like what you building a universe? Are we?
No, this is gonna be separate. this is gonna be. I have some separate ideas. I have this story about this. About these Vikings. People have seen, like, I don't know if you hang out with
Vikings, you
Dan.
say?
Yeah, he did like a pinup for the project I'm working on. It's a fun little story about these Vikings who get caught up in a storm and wind up on this kind of like futuristic island, and they're trying to figure out, their way around them. And it's basically it's my way of kind of playing around with Vikings and some like superheroes and some like different little genres, like part like Demolition Man, part Wakanda, just all these different weird elements that I started coming up with once, kind of spitballing. As that's the idea grew, I just thought, like, this is really interesting. I don't think people have kind of done something like this that I've seen in a comic. I mean, maybe, everything's been done. So maybe somebody, oh, this is like this book. And I'll be like, oh, it is. I've never read it, but sure, it could be just like
man.
that.
When I'm coming up with shit myself, I'm like, you know what? It would be cool to do this. This is a story that I want to read, so I'm gonna tell it. That's how you got to come at it. At least that's my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. So, like, to me, like, stuff like I'll like, just like with the Ace and everything, like, I'll just get like a little germ of an idea, and most will just kind of come and go. But if some stay with me, I usually like follow it and be like, all right, what is this? And then like, so like the Viking story, I'm a big fan of like the Vikings TV show, 13th Warriors, one of my all-time favorite movies.
Dude, the 13th Warrior is such a great movie. Such a great movie.
Sensei. Everybody I tell, they're always like, is it that good? I'm like, watch it. So
it really is.
I've converted tons of people.
I listened and I learned. Yeah.
Banderas is completely ridiculous as an Arab, but it works. It should never work, but it works.
It worked.
And the casting of the Vikings is so good. It is just fantastic. It completely just like, the movie's so well done. It's funny. It has action. It has that sense of brotherhood. It's got the epic moments and speeches and all this kind of stuff, man.
It's a very good adaptation of the Beowulf myth.
Yeah,
the story of Beowulf.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Yeah, so
Line agrees.
Just playing with all these kind of weird, different ideas, and it's really, like I'm already like writing like some more for it. It's just one of those fun little things that's kind of so slowly in the process.
You got all kinds of ideas bustling around. Excellent.
Yeah.
So it sounds like we got lots to look forward to from our boy Edwin here, guys.
You do stay tuned. Little by little stuff will trickle out as I like to kind of get more stuff done. Like, even with the Ace, like, I didn't really reveal too much, even though I had a lot. It's kind of stored up. It's just like little by little, I'll start trickling it out, seeing how the vibe is.
Absolutely.
So,
you lead. It's I don't know. It's almost like playing cards. You gotta lead with your strongest cards. Lead with your strongest story. Lead with the one that you feel strongest about, that you feel will grab the most attention. But grab the most attention. Tell the story that you feel needs to be told first.
Yeah.
But temper that with, what do you think people will read? Because vanity projects are fucking great, but if nobody's around to read them, then you're just yelling into the void. And, without the audience, gotta have the audience. So it's a balancing act.
And this idea of like you start pitching stuff and you kind of see how people treat it in a way. Like, like when people see certain things and you kind of start sensing like an excitement about it. And like the more you talk about it, you can kind of see like, oh, they're digging this. What I'm saying, like they're kind of digging this pitch, because you never know how people are going to take it. And that's one thing I've noticed like about the Ace is like the more I kind of broke it down to stuff, people started to kind of like start to vibe with it, So and like I said, I just feel like I can feel like 100% like set where I kind of know where this is going, where this is kind of like I have it planned out, I have it, the other stuff I'm kind of working on and kind of piecing it together more. So that's why it's kind of like behind the scenes. But this, I feel like I'm ready to go for volume 2. Like the
Okay.
script is done. I'm
Yeah. How many
ready.
volumes do you have planned out?
Uh, I have 2 completely done. Uh, I just finished some tweaks on it, so
Mm-hmm.
I just got to talk with the artist. Like I always talk with the artist and get their feedback and stuff. But
Of
as far
course.
as like everything is done for volume 2, and now I'm kind of sprinkling like the all right, this is kind of where it's going for volume 3, and kind of continuing some things, and really kind of each one kind of I wanted to grow. Like I wanted to just grow and tell a little more stories, make it a little tighter. Like this is my first comic book, so you're kind of learning through the process and stuff. And like I think
Absolutely.
the more I write, the better it turns out.
Sure.
So that's a whole like I just feel like the more I'm kind of getting into the comic book kind of vibe. So yeah, it's just about kind of making sure the story's right, and you're not just doing something to do it. But yeah, like I have a lot of like kind of sprinklings of where volume 3 is really gonna go and how it's gonna differentiate from the first 2, and then kind of new things that I'm planning on dropping in there to kind of change it up. And so yeah, I'm excited, man.
Excellent. It's exciting, man. You're building a world. Obviously, you've got this big hulking beast of a character. Now, I'm wondering, if there are critters like him out in the universe, what else is lurking out in the universe? What else is going
Ah,
to come try to take the suit from him?
there's all sorts of fun stuff out there in this universe. So.
Excellent, excellent. I am looking forward to seeing what you got. Any questions from you guys out in the audience before we go ahead and wrap it up here? Anything else that you want to share with the audience before we wrap up?
Oh no, I think we pretty much touched on everything. I do want to get a chance to promote my YouTube channel.
Drop the link in the private chat, and I'll drop it into the live chat.
Yeah, it's called Drawing Aces, and I do a Pimp Your Project stream every Friday night, 10:15 p.m. Eastern, and then I do a watch along stream where we watch a movie and we kind of BS every Sunday at 10:15 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, we were just trying to like took a little break there for now. I'm trying to get back to doing the 2 streams a week and just kind of keeping that consistent content. And, having
building the audience, interacting with that audience. Absolutely, man. That's part of what this scene's about. That's part of what makes this scene so cool is the level of interaction, and that was always the coolest thing about the comic book industry before it became an artificial Mean Girls circle. It like seriously, going to conventions used to be a hell of a lot of fun. Like going up and talking to my favorite creators, just like not even necessarily talking about comics or art or anything like that. Like going to a convention and talking to Greg Capullo about Black Label Society and guitars and heavy metal and shit like that. Talking to Chuck Dixon about being ice cream truck drivers, because he drove an ice cream truck, and so did I. I mean, I don't know. I miss that I don't know, that sense of like open, fun, people camaraderie that it used to be. That's what I find here. This kind of stuff reminds me of being in my shop, my comic shop, being able to talk to people, being able to talk about what we love about this medium. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
seeing all
definitely.
these creators, with all these different projects show up, and like the passion, the excitement to do this, and the sheer raw talent that is in this scene is staggering. Like it is just unreal. So I am very excited for the next year of this and beyond. Like this is a thriving indie scene, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah, definitely.
All about making good connections and friendships. That's right. And being a professional, getting your stuff done, delivering on time. and treating the good customer service. That's what we're all about here, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, that is it from me.
All
Thanks to the chat. Thanks to everybody hanging out with us.
Absolutely.
Always appreciate it.
All right, y'all. Well, if there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Thank you all so much for being here and hanging out with us this evening on New Book Who Dis, and we will talk to you later.